Within the Lenten season itself, there are several feast days that celebrate the lives of saints. In keeping with the tradition of the Church, these feast days are allowed to be considered separate from the discipline of the 40 days of Lent. So, let's talk about St. Patrick and the hymn that is most closely connected to him, St. Patrick's Breastplate. St. Patrick is best known as the patron saint of Ireland, to whom a glass of green, usually, beer, is raised on March 17th. Now, not much is known about the man himself. From his own autobiography, we learn that at about the age of 16, Irish pirates captured him in Britain and sold him into slavery in Ireland, where he lived for about 6 years, caring for animals, until he finally escaped. Now, oddly enough, he then returned to his land of captivity as a priest and later served as bishop in Ireland. While his father was a deacon and his grandfather a priest, Patrick had identified himself as a non-believer until the time that was spent in Ireland as an enslaved shepherd. Now, the hymn is attributed to a prayer written by Patrick in Old Irish, and it's what's known as a Lorica prayer, or a prayer of protection. The verses each describe something that we can tap into for strength: the Trinity, baptism, the resurrection, and so on. And so, without any further ado, let's go on to our hymn choice of the day, St. Patrick's Breastplate, one of the longest hymns in our hymnal. I bind unto myself today the strong name of the Trinity by invocation of the same, the three in one and one in three. I bind this day to me forever by power of faith, Christ's incarnation, his baptism in the river Jordan, his death on cross for my salvation, his bursting from the spiced tomb, his riding up the heavenly way, his coming at the day of doom, I bind unto myself today. I bind unto myself the power of the great love of cherubim, the sweet, well done in judgment hour, the service of the seraphim, confessors' faith, apostles' word, the patriarchs' prayers, the prophets' scrolls, all good deeds done unto the Lord, and purity of virgin souls. I bind unto myself today the virtues of the starlit heaven, the glorious sun's life-giving ray, the whiteness of the moon at even, the flashing of the lightning free, the whirling wind's tempestuous shocks, the stable earth, the deep salt sea, around the old eternal rocks. I bind unto myself today the power of God to hold and lead, his eye to watch, his might to stay, his ear to hearken to my need, the wisdom of my God to teach, his hand to guide, his shield to ward, the word of God to give me speech, his heavenly host to be my guard. Christ be with me, Christ within me, Christ behind me, Christ before me, Christ beside me, Christ to win me, Christ to comfort and restore me, Christ beneath me, Christ above me, Christ in quiet, Christ in danger, Christ in hearts of all that love me, Christ in mouth of friend and stranger. I bind unto myself the name, the strong name of the Trinity, by invocation of the same, the three in one, and one in three, of whom all nature hath creation, eternal Father, Spirit, Word. Praise to the Lord of my salvation. Salvation is of Christ the Lord. And our pondering questions today are pretty short. Do you ever use prayer as a means of protection? Where do you derive your strength from when times are hard? And which of these many, many images in this particular hymn resonates with you? And so, on this St. Patrick's Day, as we celebrate the patron saint of Ireland, take a few moments to contemplate the words of this hymn and to perhaps think about where it is that we tap into our strength. And so, until we meet again tomorrow, please take care and God bless.